tranquility in life, how to achieve a tranquil state of mind from the yogic point of view. There's a Sufi saying that we don't possess anything that is lost in a shipwreck. What I mean to say is that the material things has a purpose in our life, and if you get attached too much, more than the purpose it serves in our life, it costs us a lot in the form of peace of mind and harmony and integration in our life. And according to Epictetus, a Greek philosopher, some things are in our control and some things are not in our control. And we should accept that. What is in our control is only our opinion, our ideas, our decisions. What is not in our control is our body, our possessions, material possessions like home, property, reputation, glory, status. When I bring you into this kind of thought, I am not trying to trivialize the importance of these things in our life. These things are very important in our life for our material existence. But material existence is not the only existence in our life. We have something called spiritual existence or transcendental existence. If this transcendental existence is not taken care of, a peaceful state of mind will become an impossibility or very hard to get. From the yogic point of view, to get chitta prasadanam or peaceful state of mind or blissful state of mind, we should have an attitude of renunciation to material things in life. Abhyasa means detachment to worldly life. And this does not mean that each one of us should renounce everything in our life and take the garb of a sannyasi or a sage. Being a householder, being in this material world, functioning in the society, taking care of, doing our dharmas, different roles, still we can reach a yogic state of mind if we change our attitude. For that, this renunciation, this detachment can be converted into something called attitudinal renunciation. Renunciation and attitude, not the actual renunciation, but in attitude, we bring the philosophy of renunciation. While we're using a car, because we know that there are people who are fond of cars, they are always reading magazines, describing different cars, its functions, things like that, and getting possessed by such. So everybody has their own taste and such things. But when a person with a yogi state of mind sees car as something which takes him to one place to another, the purpose ends there. Okay. Similarly, when wealth is there, we need in the pursuit of money is made because money is required to sustain our life, to get food on our table, to have a comfortable home, to get our children educated, to get treated in hospitals. It is required. We need to pursue wealth because artha is one of the dharma in our culture. But at the same time, sometimes in that inclination, instinct to survive in life, in the pursuit of money and wealth can become a sort of obsession, sort of maniacal approach to it. This can create a lot of harm in the society, which is actually happening. Because while we are trying to increase our material wealth and reach high status in life where we feel a sense of worth and a sense of power, in our march towards the so-called success, we may trample upon other people's life inadvertently. Not everyone will do it, except people with the criminal mentality. Most people will not do it deliberately. They won't. Most people won't try to belittle another person. But when we are getting, when our mind gets overwhelmed by the thought of success and material wealth and such things, we will become what they call, we'll have a tunnel vision. We will not see anything but our own progress. Other people become just pawns. They'll become pawns in our pursuit of success. And we may, there may be a tendency, there may for us to become individuals without the empathy for the other. Success becomes success only if it is shared. A success, a joy which is not shared is very much limited. Its scope is very less. So in your through a yogic attitude means seeing the world as one, no separation. So it is usually said unity in diversity when it comes to our country. Actually, it's a universal statement. Actually, many things looks diverse, but there's a fundamental unity in it. So the yogic pursuit is something where we find unity and in things which seem diverse. Okay. So how this disharmony comes in our mind, how we become restless in our mind, mainly because of our attitudes, especially attitude to material things. That includes our body also. Which we have no control. Yes, we have our medical sciences are advanced so much. It does prolong our life. It takes away our pain. It corrects our traumas and broken limbs. Yes, but eventually we meet with the reality that the body is breaking down. It doesn't mean that we should not adore our body. It is always a normal thing or a healthy attitude to take care of our body, and we should know the impermanent nature. Anitya, nitya and anitya. We are looking for nitya, what is permanent, and we are trying to know the true nature of anitya, what is not permanent. Okay. In our culture, in yoga philosophy, we believe in something that is permanent. That is, we call it self. And this self has to be made tranquil. It is not the mind here. Here it is in in yoga philosophy, body, mind, that there is, it's not the soul, it is called self, it's consciousness. So this consciousness, the purpose is to make this consciousness pure, without any kind of disturbance, not even the eustress. The two kinds of stress is there, distress and eustress. This eustress is said to be important for us to carry out things and do function. But in yoga, even this eustress is not desirable. Actually, it is not about withdrawing from life or not taking one's duty seriously. There's another concept in Bhagavad Gita, the nishkama karma, because we are doing the karma without expecting its result in such a way we want it to be, because actually it will not take us away from functioning is very well, but because it takes the stress away from the actual duty. The expectations are not there, so the individual is able to perform with 100% peaceful mind. That is why we don't feel perfection. Perfection is a state of mind. Perfection is not actually, one cannot quantify or qualify perfection. The perfection has to feel in the mind. The work is done. Yes, I have done my best. I have given everything. So this is perfect. That's why the perfection happens. Otherwise, this perfection doesn't happen. Change is always happening. So perfection is possible in a world which changes all the time. So this attitudinal renunciation, if practiced, will give us great joy in our life. So much of disappointments so much of distress can be avoided. This attitude of renunciation has to be applied not just in wealth or money or possessions or anything, but even in so-called relationships. If we have a possessive attitude to our friends and such other people, what we are restricting ourselves. We are restricting ourselves. We are compartmentalizing something which cannot be compartmentalized. We are throwing chains around us and other people. This is the possessive state of mind. The result is only pain and suffering. So the renunciation, the attitude of the renunciation has to be taken to different spheres of life if you want to be really peaceful. So so life, see, what is life actually? Our state. It is we are conscious that we are living. I experience. Life is a series of experiences. Life is a series of experiences of consciousness. It is life is nothing but different stages of consciousness. So how this consciousness, the feeling of consciousness, can be raised to a transcendental level. Unless this self is accepted, unless this transcendental nature of consciousness is accepted, this tranquil state of mind will not be possible. We may get short periods of peaceful, sessions, but it cannot be prolonged. But here we are talking about life where tranquil state of mind is prolonged for a long time, because it becomes our own nature. So while pursuing, because nowadays we are living in a highly competitive world. Competition is that is accepted as a normal thing. No, and to just to survive itself, the skills has to be learned is immense. Everyone is overwhelmed by this. The skills one has to acquire just to survive in the society. So in this situation, keeping a peaceful state of mind is indeed a challenge. But at this point, yoga helps a lot. If we use and if we follow this yogic philosophy in this competitive world, we can sail through this turbulent waters of march to success in a peaceful way. When it comes to the importance, the actual from the yogic point of view, the actual significance of our material successes. I like to illustrate this. I like to go back to history to drive home this point. We all know Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, he started marching from Macedonia, his country, his city-state, to conquer the world. And he almost conquered the world. He came to India, and he was going back to his own country to meet his mother, to see his homeland. While on his way back, he became sick, very sick. And he realized that he is not going to make it back to his home. So lying on the deathbed, he called all his generals. They all came, they circled him. He told them, I don't think that I'm going to make it back home, so I'm going to die soon, I'm sure. So I have 3 wishes which you have to fulfill. The first wish is that my dead body should be carried to the grave by the doctors who treated me. Number 2, while my body is taken to the grave, the path should be strewn with the precious stones, gold, silver, all that I acquired in my expedition. And lastly, when I am put in my coffin, my hands should be kept outside so that everyone can see my hands. So everyone wondered why this kind of strange wish is made by the emperor. So one of the generals, All generals were not, did not have the courage to ask Alexander, why, what is the reason for this wish? One of the generals who were close to him just came close to him and whispered, Sire, I am, would you please tell me the reason why you said this? He said, yes. I said that the doctors should carry me to the grave because everyone should realize that even though doctors can treat and alleviate our pain and suffering and prolong our life, no doctor can save us from death. Death is going to come to us today or tomorrow in different forms. That is why I told them, I told you that the physicians should carry me to the grave. And I told you to put the precious stones and gold and silver and the expensive things acquired on the way, while on the path through which I am taken, because even though I worked hard to acquire all this, I'm not going to take any of it to my next life, to my grave. And also, and I told you to keep my hands outside my coffin because everyone, so that everyone can see that the man who conquered the world is not taking anything with him when he dies. So see, what we have to realize it. A strong man, an ambitious man, a brilliant man, a military genius who wanted to prove him, who wanted to make a name in this world, who wanted to make his life worth in this world. At the young age of 18, he started off. He conquered the whole world. He was a military genius. His strategies were successful. He never tasted defeat. Still, he excelled in his path. He won success, but still, at the end, he reached a stage where he realized that all this has no meaning at all. It is only momentary nature. All success, all stardom has only momentary existence. By saying this here, I am not trying to belittle the achievements in life. Yes, it has its own worth in the material plane that has to be pursued, but with a yogic attitude. And one more point I like to say is that if you observe very closely, we put a goal and we work towards it. After a few months or years, we reach that goal. We reach that position we always coveted. After reaching that position, let us observe how we feel after the initial elation and euphoria. The moment goes, how we feel the same. We feel the same as we used to feel earlier, not much difference. And to feel this, we have to honestly sit down and think. Yes, the moment we are successful, the world is singing praises for us. Acceptance, handshakes, everything is there. We deserve it. We worked hard. But no moment passes. That moment passes, the time to aim for another success. After reaching this success, pause for a second. After all the hullabaloo, all that party is over, how we feel the same. That's where the yoga philosophy comes in. To be complete, to feel that absolute joy, the yogic joy, the mind, the consciousness has to be evolved to a certain level. Now, the thinker Julian Huxley says, man's evolution is not physiological, but psychological. He said psychological, we say it is transcendental. We have gone beyond. So it is all right. We need to pursue, because just as we say that what is Caesar's is Caesar's. Okay. So in material life, it has certain rules of functioning. At the same time, we should not forget the fact that there is a spiritual domain There's a transcendental domain in our existence. We have to give due recognition to that existence so that our material life also will, the transcendental joy, the yogic joy will get infused into our material existence too. Thank you.